Okay, let's move on towards the area selection mode. Then we go. We're gonna have KT versus KZ today. So we're gonna have Taiga, Mime, KT, and Batoru here against Owl's Dream, which seems like for game mode we aren't actually going Opera Singer, and KT Survivor does realize this as well. So then I guess this team comp overall with the, I mean, even if it's an Opera Singer picture, there's nothing that the forward can do as long as you can TP back towards a survivor that has been down. But even with that on mind, let's move on towards the game shortly. And this is going to be IVT Winter Japan League for 2023. But I guess this is more 2024 now, but you know, whatever the YouTube says. I'm also coughing a little bit, so sorry if you hear me cough from time to time. There's nothing I can do about this cough. The doctor hasn't prescribed me anything for it, even though I asked them. So, oh well, what can we do? I might as well just die tomorrow. But anyways, let's move on towards the game then, shall we? We're gonna have KT, Batoru, Mime, Taiga, KT, KZ, Owl, and the bands here are going to be Antiquarian, Seer, Aeroplanist, and Acrobat. Not too bad for a Dream Witch, but overall here, without a Priestess pick, I feel like it's a little bit, well, I mean, not picking Priestess, I guess, could say it's trying to prevent an Opera Singer, but I don't think having a forward is also a good idea when it comes to playing against an Opera Singer. Maybe if you don't have Tide as forward, it would work, but let's just see how this game goes then. Now then, we're going to be seeing Dream Witcher spawning by Red Carpet here once again. Forward did bring Tide Turner here though, so it does seem like they wanted to play the forward rescue, forward harass type comp, but from Dream Witcher's side, it seems like we're going to be going straight towards this patient here immediately. Okay. Patient first chase here isn't bad. We're going to be able to get Leech here. Patient has to rotate a little bit further away, but also Patient can't go in towards Graveyard. If Patient wants to go in towards Graveyard here, I think Cordy has to leave Graveyard as a matter of fact there as well. But anyways, we're going to be able to see the first hit here registered on towards Patient. Very nicely done. There's nothing Patient can do here because Patient knows that he can't rotate towards Graveyard. Even though I'd say it's probably better for him to rotate towards Graveyard, but we do have, you know, Cordy still being nearby there as well. But with that pallet being dropped down immediately as well, Patroller being ready to go. Now then, Dream Witch's main follower is going to come back very soon as well, and we do have the Patroller ready to go. But even with the Patroller on mind here, we're going to have to drop down immediately during this time. Cancelling the hook there is very nicely done. But we are going to be able to get the vault out here, I guess. But even with that on mind, you're only able to buy maybe 20-40 seconds. Oh, Cordy with a gun support, but it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to get much there anyways. With that in mind though, it's okay for you to get a hit on towards Coordinator right there. Dog has cancelled by itself, but that's also fine, because in this situation, Coordinator is at the worst area possible. What can Cordy do in a nutshell? Nothing. A little bit unfortunate, but Cordy can't do much. We're going to be able to get our second Patroller out here immediately. Coordinator trying to rush away from this area as much as possible, but you're going to have a Patient at half health, and then a Cordy who's basically going to go down in the next 6 seconds, because the Patroller bite is going to register. Oh, never mind. It's going to be a Terror Shock hit then. Okay. We tried to slow vault there to buy a little bit more time to cancel that bite, because they know that it wouldn't be able to cancel it. So with that in mind, we're going to be able to see a good two and a half Cypher Machine. 2.5 Cypher Machine isn't bad, but we have to see where the Patient is, because Coordinator's gun support, like the gun support there was a little bit too obvious. It was a little bit too obvious. We could have played a little bit more mind games there. But anyways, aside from that, Psycho coming in. Psycho trying to buy quite a bit of time here, I guess. But Psychologist is also someone who does have Tide Turn here. We're going to be able to get a hit here registered immediately. And we're going to be able to change. But it seems like Cordy actually brought the 28% movement speed boost when rescued from chair. So that's brilliant. We're going to be able to get the pallet down there immediately as well. And it seems like Cordy is going to be able to very successfully rebound Kai here as well. We do have Patroller ready on one of the leeches here, but even with that on mind though, Coordinator is going to be able to vault out regardless. But it seems like for Cordy here, she wants to maybe down a little bit farther away from this area. You could play pallet mind games here. The pallet now is gone, but even with that on mind though, forward is nearby, for 4 can't do much. We see the Persona traits here as well. It's going to be stronger detention here with Max Hunt alongside with Berserker Wanted Order. But even when it comes to this, I guess in a nutshell, Cypher Machines are still not enough at the end of the day. We're going to try chair a little bit closely towards the Patient, and maybe we're actually going to chase Patient here, but it seems like we're going to opt out for, oh never mind, we won't be able to opt out for the nearest chair here sadly. and the struggle free. The struggle free is going to allow survivors to finish off cipher machines. I think that's the biggest issue. If it wasn't for the struggle free, then none of this would have happened, but I guess it is what it is. Dreamwish not actually grabbing the window there from the survivor's side is a little bit weird to me, because that should have registered. But anyways, we're still going to be able to get that normal hit on straight towards Cordy, but with no leeches here remaining, it does seem like KD Survivor have quite a bit of leeway to play around here for being nearby as well. Should be able to get a pick up here. Yeah, should be able to get the pick up here. But there's two Survivor at one cipher machine here. It's the patient and the psychologist. So in a nutshell, patient gets a patient doesn't get a decoding buff when she decodes with Psycho, but at least he doesn't have any debuffs when it comes to decoding. So the cipher machine is now primed. That's brilliant. We're currently near the exit gate, red carpet gate. So everyone is currently on one side of the field right now. We could potentially abnormal here, but it's just going to end up as a pop here immediately. Tie Turner on Cordy, Leech on Cordy, but even with that on mind though, it seems like we're trying to look for Psycho here immediately, getting the bite on straight towards Psychologist. Patient Cypher Machine, well not Cypher, Patient's Exegate at 50%, which by technicality isn't bad. But even with that on mind though, Psychologist's dog bite here is going to be cancelled just because of that pallet vault, but it seems like we're going to be able to get a terror shock hit here immediately anyways. Meanwhile, Cordy is still somewhere, but at least Cordy doesn't have a D-leech mark, which is good. We are now going to force the survivors off the exit. You're going to have to chair Cordy. No, sorry, you're going to have to chair, Psycho, because your detention's going to be over soon, and if you don't chair Psycho, it may end up as a 4-man escape here. So chairing Psycho in deep towards Graveyard is very important right now. Meanwhile, you still do have to look for Cordy here too. That's fine. Your Cordy knows where the leeches are. Like, it's a Cordy leech. You can see where Cordy is permanently, just like how Cordy can see where her leech is. But even with that on mind here, the Cordy is going to be able to make it straight towards the exit gate here. A tad bit unfortunate, but we are going to be able to see this 3-man escape. But of course, let's congratulate KT here for that 3-man escape. Well, maybe we are going to be able to see a 3-man escape. Now then, let's move on straight towards not game 2, game 1, second half. Okay, let's move on towards second half. We're gonna have Lotus, GGC at Winter, and Koala here. So it's gonna be a entrance to between Graveyard and the exit gate for where Patient is. Winter's on the left hand side. We're gonna have Acrobat in middle, and of course Antiquarian in Shack right here. Idashi from KT. We're gonna be playing Opera Singer here. Opera Singer against this team comp. We're gonna have to see how it goes, but I would say Antiquarian has quite a lot of ways to play around this map, of course, including the fact that there's so many walls and tight spaces nearby. I don't think Opera Singer in current day meta after her nerf is going to be able to counter Antiquarian as easily. But even with that on mind though, it seems like for Japan Survivor, we're playing more meta Survivor instead of like the likes of, you know, Gardener and Coordinator, or maybe we're just not practicing them. But even with that on mind though, it's gonna be quite interesting to see who becomes first chase here anyways. But of course, if we look at the ban picks here, it's going to be Gardener. Oh, never mind. Gardener and Cordy are actually banned here. And then we're going to follow it up with a Mercenary and a First Officer. Surprisingly, we didn't get Widling out, but I feel like if we got Widling out here, it could potentially compensate for a second Rescuer. But from the Survivor side, I guess it's going to be everyone having Windows Speed Boost here, except for Patient. I'm thinking there's 3 Tie Turners here. There is 2 Tie Turners here. Okay, I thought Patient will also bring Tie Turner, but never mind. We're going to be seeing everyone with Windows Speed Boost here, at least except for Aeroplanus with Tie Turner. But of course, Acrobat also brought Tie here, so that's not too bad. But Aeroplanus here becoming the first chase here immediately. Not that much of a great idea. Well, not good for the Survivor side, especially when you're playing when you're going against an Opera Singer here. But at least we're going to be able to go straight towards Graveyard. With Graveyard in mind, there's a lot of pallets to play around here. Either she brought slow pallet break. No, that's fast pallet break. 2 stacks of fast 2 stacks of fast pallet breaking, it does seem, and that's going to be the first set registered there immediately. A little bit of a fast pallet drop down there. We could have bought a little bit more time during the animation recovery from the attack. I should have just said the attack recovery animation. But even with that on mind though, we're going to be able to see 3 hovers here immediately, but these hovers aren't going to work well against an Opera Singer, sadly. So it is going to be a 60-second down here immediately. We are not going to be able to see any, like, if if Acro and if Aeroplanus brought what Acrobat had, it probably would have been better. But I don't think Idashi should be playing so much mind games here against oh, well, it's a struggle for, yeah, that's the thing. It's better to chair there instead of chair near a cipher machine. No matter what happens there, it's still better to chair somewhere else. But even with that in mind though, we are going to be able to see Aeroplanus rushing straight towards the next pallet area. Seems like we're going to be able to get it down here anyways, but this is currently a 100-second containment. This is a 100-second containment now. This is like brilliantly done by Antiquarian. So Antiquarian's harass there made a lot of difference, but it's also the fact that it's Opera Singer's fault there as well with trying to chair near an Antiquarian. You shouldn't have tried that no matter what happens. I feel like you really shouldn't have tried that no matter what happens. But with Acrobat here, we're going to ball jump in immediately as well. We still want to buy just a little bit more time around this area, but even with that on mind, so it is currently 25% elimination progress on towards Aeroplanus. We're going to be holding another ball just to come in here, but most likely it's going to be a red ball registered immediately. 8-second cooldown there, but we're still trying and play mind games on this. A Terror Shock down, GG's. Okay, that Terror Shock brought a lot of things home. That Terror Shock brought a lot of teams home. You have to rescue here no matter what, which is the unfortunate part. But even if you do rescue here, you don't have a tie turner, and like even if you do have a tie turner, Aeroplanus doesn't really have any items remaining here. So it's a lose-lose situation currently for the survivors. Antiquarian is gonna have to harass, but there's only so much you can do when there's blink up and ready to go as well. Then an Antiquarian currently half health with no flywheel. We're gonna be able to get a pick up and drop down immediately on straight towards Acrobat. There's gonna be Acrobat straight immediately on towards the elimination chair, and we're going to be able to bring, let's see where the nearest chair is. The nearest chair is currently in this area for the Aeroplanus, but right when Acrobat gets rescued, it's going to be at least a guaranteed 3-man elimination here, especially with the fact that Acrobat doesn't really have borrowed time. But if we're going to go after Antiquarian, it may just be a little bit different. Antiquarian still having 3 flutes or 4 flutes here remaining. We're going to spin here just to gain a little bit of an extra movement speed boost. Oh ho, that is a beautiful mind game. Beautiful mind game, but it feels like Antiquarian there kind of just a little bit panicky on that flute as well, because Opera Singer was pretty far away, and Opera Singer only gets like a 1-second movement speed boost, so you shouldn't be able to catch up to you that fast anyway, so you might as well wait for that 1 second before you swing, because you can by technicality just push back as well, and that does buy you a little bit more time, a little bit more leeway. But we're going to be teleporting back here as well. And preferably here, if we can, Acrobat needs to go rescue, but Patient also as well is going to close in straight towards this area. We do have Tinnitus here immediately. We don't see where Patient is, so with Opera Singer's side, well, I mean, even if Patient gets the rescue, right, doesn't matter much, unless Antiquarian rebound kites really well, it matters, but in this sense as well, we do have Teleport ready in 10 seconds, but where is Oh, Patient didn't, Patient didn't, but how do you want me to commentate this, man? Patient, next hook isn't going to be able to come out here. Opera Singer getting down there immediately. Teleport is also ready. Well, we can teleport straight towards the Acrobat for that 4-man elimination. Acro, we're going to be able to see where Acro is, but Acro put down the pallet in the wrong side of the pallet. That's going to be a very unfortunate drop down there, and a 4-man elimination for Opera Singer here.